Let's get straight to the point. You've been lied to. You've been sold a corporate fantasy that sleep is a luxury, a weakness, or a tax on your productivity. You've seen the influencers at 4 a.m., eyes bloodshot, shouting about their grindset while sipping their fourth sugar-free energy drink. Here is the cold, hard reality. Sleep is not a break from your life. It is the foundation of your biological existence. Skipping it isn't working harder. It's a slow-motion suicide mission executed with military precision. Your brain is a high-performance dual-core processor, a masterpiece of evolution, but you're treating it like a burner phone from 2004 that's been dropped in a toilet and left to rot. Every hour of sleep you trade for productivity is a predatory loan you can never truly repay. Science is clear. Wakefulness is quite literally low-level brain damage. Every minute you stay awake past your limit, your neurons are fraying, your DNA is snapping, and your cognitive potential is leaking out like oil from a crashed car. And tonight, we're going to count the cost. We're going to look into the abyss of your exhaustion and see what's looking back. Number 8. The Memory Blackout. Let's look at your brain as a massive, high-speed data center. Every experience, every fact, every skill you learn today is an incoming email. In a healthy brain, your memory inbox is open and ready. During the day, you collect these emails, and at night, the system moves them to the long-term hard drive. But when you don't sleep, the system goes offline. The inbox locks down. You can spend 12 hours studying, working, or hustling, but if you don't sleep, your brain physically loses the ability to hit the save button. Those informational emails don't just wait in line, they bounce. They vanish into the digital void. You feel like an amnesiac in your own life because your hippocampus, the brain's librarian, has gone on strike. But it gets darker. While you're awake, your brain is burning fuel at a rate that would melt a normal engine, and like any engine, it produces exhaust. In this case, it's a toxic protein called beta amyloid. Imagine your head filling up with thick, black, sticky sludge every hour you stay awake. This sludge is the primary architect of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Deep sleep is the only time your brain's glymphatic system, essentially a high-pressure biological power washer, kicks into gear. It floods the brain with cerebrospinal fluid and flushes the toxins out into the body for disposal. No sleep? You're just letting the poison marinate in your neurons until they rot and shrivel. You aren't just tired, you're becoming a stranger to your own memories, one sleepless night at a time. Number 7. The Decade of Decay. We love to talk about staying young, anti-aging, and longevity, but we treat sleep like it's optional. Here's a wake-up call for the men watching, and it's a brutal one. If you're sleeping 5 to 6 hours a night, your testosterone levels are the same as someone 10 years older than you. You are aging a decade in a single week of bad sleep. This isn't just about feeling old or having a few more wrinkles. It's about your fundamental biological virility. Your muscle growth stalls, your fat metabolism dies, and your bones literally become less dense. You're trading your prime years, your peak physical form, and your sexual health for an extra hour of mindless scrolling or staring at a spreadsheet that won't matter in a year. Look in the mirror. That reflection isn't just exhausted, it's decaying. Your body is pulling resources from your future self before you even hit 30, all because you're afraid to close your eyes. Number 6. The immune strike. Your immune system isn't just a shield, it's a special forces unit. It has an elite squad called natural killer cells. These are the assassins that roam your blood vessels hunting for cancer cells and viral invaders. They are your first and last line of defense. After just one night of 4 hours of sleep, the activity of these cells drops by a staggering 70%. 70% of your defenses just walked off the job and went on strike. You've left the gates of your fortress wide open while an army of malignancies is gathering at the walls. This is why short sleep duration is the #1 predictor for developing bowel cancer, prostate cancer, and breast cancer. The connection is so violent and so direct that the World Health Organization literally classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen. You aren't grinding for success, you're inviting a terminal diagnosis to take up residence in your chest. Your body needs the absolute darkness of sleep to fight the shadows that grow inside of us every day. Without it, you are a sitting duck in a world full of hunters. Number 5. The cardiac roulette. Your heart is the only muscle that never gets a day off, but it desperately needs the night shift reboot. During deep sleep, your heart rate slows down and your blood pressure drops by 10 to 20%. It's the most natural and powerful cardiovascular medication on Earth. But if you stay awake, your system stays under pressure forever. Your heart is forced to pump against the wall of resistance that never softens. 6 hours of sleep or less gives you a 200% increased risk of a fatal heart attack or stroke in your lifetime. This isn't a maybe, it's a statistical certainty. Want proof? Look at the largest biological experiment ever conducted, daylight savings time. Every spring, when 1.6 billion people in 70 countries lose just 1 hour of sleep, heart attacks jump by 24% the very next morning. When we gain that hour back in the autumn, heart attacks drop by 21%. 1 hour, one single hour of sleep is the razor-thin margin between your heart beating or flatlining. Why are you betting your life on a 4 a.m. YouTube rabbit hole? Number 4, the drunk driver syndrome. Let's talk about performance. You think you're sharp? You think you're functioning on 4 hours? You're delusional. The human recycle rate is about 16 hours. After 16 hours of continuous wakefulness, your brain function doesn't just dip, it craters. By the time you've been awake for 19 hours, your cognitive impairment is identical to someone who is legally drunk. You're navigating your career, your relationships, and your ton-and-a-half vehicle with the brain of someone who's had 4 shots of vodka, but without the euphoria. Your reaction time slows to a crawl. Your ability to process complex information vanishes, and you start suffering from microsleeps, your brain literally shutting down for seconds at a time while your eyes are open. You're making expensive mistakes at work, missing crucial social cues, and reacting to life with the speed of a sloth. You think you're hustling through the night. No, you're just a distracted primate making bad bets with a foggy mind. You're not a hero, you're a hazard. Number 3, the cortisol flood. Your brain on sleep deprivation is a brain in a state of total war. When you don't sleep, your body panics. It assumes there's a mortal threat keeping you awake, so it pumps out cortisol, the primary stress hormone. You are locked in a permanent fight or flight mode. Your amygdala, the emotional panic button deep in your brain, becomes 60% more reactive. This is why everything feels like a crisis. Your boss's mild email feels like a death threat. A minor traffic jam feels like a personal attack. Your partner's joke feels like an insult. You aren't an anxious person or a moody person. You're just a person whose brain is drowning in its own stress signals. You're hunting for solutions to problems that don't exist, while your prefrontal cortex, the logical CEO of your brain, has gone offline to conserve energy. You're an emotional wreck driving a biological wreck. Number 2, the interest rate of death. Every time you say, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," the universe smiles, because that date is moving closer with every word. You think you're borrowing time from the night to give to the day. You think you're being clever, outsmarting biology. But you aren't borrowing, you're taking out a predatory payday loan from a shark that always collects. The interest rate is 500%, and the collateral is your sanity, your heart, and your DNA. The damage isn't just mental, it's genetic. Sleep deprivation literally switches off genes related to your immune system and switches on genes related to tumor growth, chronic inflammation, and cardiovascular disease. Eventually, the debt collectors come. They don't take your money, they take your ability to feel joy. They take your focus, and finally, they take your heartbeat. Success at the cost of your health isn't success, it's an estate sale. Number 1, the final crash. People love to say everything happens for a reason. That's the lie we tell ourselves to feel better about the chaos we create. But in biology, things happen because of causes. If your life is falling apart, if your relationships are strained, if you're constantly sick and angry, it's not the universe testing you. It's your prefrontal cortex shutting down because you haven't changed your biological oil in years.
True success, true grind requires kinetic energy, and you can't have energy without a reboot. Evolution spent 3.8 billion years perfecting this process. Do you really think your productivity hack is better than 4 billion years of R&D? Success isn't about who stays awake the longest. It's about who has the sharpest mind when they are awake. The tabs in your brain are leaking memory and processing power. Close them, put down the phone, kill the light, go to sleep. If you want more cold, hard reality and you're ready to stop lying to yourself, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay skeptical, stay rational, and for God's sakes, go to bed. We'll see you tomorrow.